Hey everyone, Tech Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. On this video, we're going to talk about the Hisense QD5. I'm going to show you everything that you need to know. And then later on in the video, I'll show you the unboxing and the menu system. Now you might be wondering about the Hisense QD7. Well, I chose not to review that TV because it's 2025 and there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming out soon. But keep in mind, the QD7 will support up to 144 Hertz, has 240 motion rate, it has the QLED quantum dots on it, so it's going to be a much better television. So you have to figure out if you want to spend a little bit more for that particular TV. With that being said, let's get into it. The first thing we're going to check out is movies on this television, and I didn't really know what to expect, but in my opinion, I think it produces a lot of great colors and it has pretty decent contrast considering that it doesn't have local dimming zones. I think a TV like this will be great for a bedroom, and if you're on a budget, I think it depends on which size you get, it could be a great living room TV as well. In my opinion, I think this TV looks great on movies, especially in full screen, but I had to be transparent with you that you will see a little bit of gray in some of those black areas just because of the nature of design and the price point. Now, we're going to jump right into gaming just because I know there's gamers out there who wants to see some of the settings in this television. So let's jump right in, starting with input lag. Now with the TV in gaming mode, we're going to check out the input lag. And keep in mind, this is a 4K 60 Hz television, but we're getting 9.4 milliseconds, which is really good for a small TV, and it's going to be ready for gaming. And this TV also has a game bar, and it's going to show you your frames, HDR, variable refresh rate, and auto low latency. Plus you have features like dark details, brightness. You also have crosshair, which puts this little slash in the center right there. And it has features like frame viewing, where you can see the frames per second right here in the corner and you can move it around. You can change the picture size as well as the genre and audio settings. As far as the display capabilities, it is a 4K 60 Hz television. You can see that it will support Dolby Vision gaming up to 60 frames per second. And if you go into video modes, again, it has that variable refresh rate, Dolby Vision gaming, HDR, everything that you need. It also supports 1440p at 60 frames per second, as well as 1080p at 60 frames per second.
Overcrashed.
Bring in the next module.
Incoming, Damon.
All right. Step one for combat with PCBs is making them.
And after doing some games on it, I personally didn't notice any tearing or smearing. I think it has a really good picture. You got to remember that the new technology that's growing is mini LED, but the other TVs on the market still has some of the same capabilities. Now, if you're a sports fan, I want to show you some footage on it, and I was amazed how well the colors looked on this television. And it also has great shadow details as I was looking into the crowds on the different images. And granted that the broadcast signal is not going to give you the best quality, but I even thought the grass looked pretty good on these soccer matches. And I was very impressed with the upscaling on this TV. On the left side, we have 720p. On the right hand side, we have 4K. And as I was watching this video, I could barely tell the difference between the two. So as you can see, you could take your old content and make it look fantastic. But when I did a dirty screen effect on this television, I noticed that it's not completely uniform. There is going to be some areas that has a little bit of patches in it, but keep in mind, I always got to go back to it. This is a budget television. But I must say, when it comes to viewing angles, I was pretty impressed. As I went side to side, there was very little coloration. You will get some because of the panel type, but it was pretty good. So if you're off axis, I think this would be a great TV when it comes to viewing angles, especially if you have furniture in different parts of the room. Now, when it comes to glare, I think you're going to pick up quite a bit on this television. I don't think it has an anti-glare coating, but it's not as bad as I've seen on some televisions. So just keep that in mind if you have a lot of lights or windows in the room. Now, this TV does support formats like Dolby Vision, HDR10, HDR10 Plus, HLG, picture profiles. So you're going to have a lot of range for different types of content. And I can say, as I was watching some demos on this television, I was very impressed with how well the colors are right out of the box. So if you get this TV and you run high bitrate content to it, such as streaming applications, I think you're going to be very satisfied with this television and the money that you save. This TV has a okay audio system. It's going to be great listening to the news and things like that. But for movies, I'm always going to recommend a soundbar. But I want you to hear what it sounds like. I think it's around 10 watts by 2, so it's not that impressive, but again, it's great for dialogue.
sea. While the cold here in Sweden got the best of me.
If you stuck around to this part of the video, now we're going to unbox it, set it up, and I'll show you the menu system and some of the great things that this TV has to offer. All right, let's go ahead and get this opened up. And I would say this TV has a lot of features since it does have Google operating system. I filmed a lot of videos with a lot of those features on it, and this one I'll show you the same. It has these little tiny plastic feet, and it has some styrofoam like most boxes. And I will tell you that it does have this piece of cardboard in the front of it to keep it protected. And here's the bag with all the different parts in it. Of course, you get an instruction manual. There's also a remote control and a power cord, and it does come with batteries, so that's pretty much standard stuff that comes with most TVs. And here's the remote control that comes with it. It has all your hotkeys at the top. It has these white navigation buttons to make it easy to find everything. But I will tell you that this remote control does not have a backlight on it. This TV is available in a 43, 50, 55, and 65. And one of the great things I like about a 43-inch is easy to get everything all set up and running by myself. And I will say that this will be a TV that you probably want to put in your bedroom. To mount the feet on is pretty straightforward. It has this little plastic clip. You just stick them in there. And then there's 2 screws to hold it into place. Pretty simple stuff. On the bottom, there's a speaker on each side, and over here, there's a press button to get through some of your basic menu controls. So here's the back of the TV. You got that hump in the center. You also have plenty of inputs, and this includes a headphone output as well as composite inputs for those older VCRs. This TV is 60 Hertz, but it does have 3 HDMI inputs, and this one is eARC. So now I'm going to walk you through the setup. First of all, you have multiple languages that you can choose. So just choose your language and press OK. Then you would choose your region, and you can set it up for Google TV or Basic TV. Now keep in mind when you do Basic TV, it's really just to use your antenna and external devices. But we're going to set it up with the Google TV. Now you can't use this barcode if you have the Google Home app, but we're going to go to the bottom and hit TV instead. Go ahead and enter the username and password for your Wi-Fi. And once it connects, we can look for updates. Once the updates is complete, go and enter your username and password for your Gmail account. If you don't have one, you will need to create one to get to the next step. There will be some terms and conditions. Make sure you read through them. And if you want to use voice command, this allows you to search all the applications installed on the TV. There's also a service where you can activate voice match so it knows your voice from other people. And I do recommend you put on personal results if you want to have the best experience. If you have Google devices in your home, you can choose the profile, and then you would choose where the TV is going to be located. Next, you'll get a list of applications. If you have any of these, just hit the little checkbox. And what it's going to do, install these applications as it gets done with the setup process. To pair the remote control, you want to press the back and home button for about 3 seconds. And this connects the remote control with Bluetooth so you can use the voice commands from it. If you have an audio system, you can go through these steps. You want to go ahead and enter your zip code. You can also have it set up if you cast to it to turn on the screen automatically. This TV also has Apple AirPlay HomeKit, so you can set that up with your Siri and control it with voice command. And now the setup with Hisense is complete. The final steps is it's going to set up your television using all these configurations, and be patient because this could take from 1 minute up to 10 minutes. So here's the operating system, and I would say it's pretty snappy overall. I don't see too many glitches or delays, and since it is Google operating system, of course you have live TV where you have free play, where you can stream all types of music, and it does have live TV, and these are basically streaming channels from Google, so you can go in here and find content anytime you want. And at the top here we have the App Store, and again this is the Google App Store, so you have plenty of options in here. There's also a web browser. There's a device assistants that clean up the memory. And over here we have family moments where you can use a thumb drive to play your pictures. Plus there's a media center and a music player. Again, all these will be done off of external devices. There's a lot of features in the settings, but I'll just show you the bare bones. Over here we have CEC, and these are some options that you can use to control different devices with the television. You have display and sound where you can make all those adjustments. And down here, there's a game setting, and you can control the contrast, black levels, auto low latency, and you can connect it to a PC for syncing. This TV does use Android 12, which is the latest version of it. And it has 5.9 gigabytes of storage, which is not a lot, but you're probably just going to use this for basic TV streaming. You have ambient mode, so whenever you're not using a TV, it will go into the sleep mode with different images from the Google Cloud. And you can change this from your own family photos art gallery, or custom art. And if you're wondering, you can turn off the LED on the front of it off and on with this little switch right here. And you have sleep timer down here at the bottom. You can cast to it from your Android devices. And as I mentioned earlier, it does support Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. But that's pretty much all the settings in here that you need to know. But I did want to point out that this TV does support Alexa as well, just by going in here and setting up everything. So this TV has a lot of functionality. In my opinion, if you're not on the market for a mini LED or OLED television, I think this is going to be a great television for the average person who's not a big TV person, they say. But if you are, it does have a lot of the same features such as the Google operating system, Apple AirPlay capabilities, Alexa capabilities, and it does have a lot of gaming capabilities up to 60 frames per second. Being that it is a direct lit panel, it has decent audio, nothing major, but I would say that if you have the right expectation, it'd be a great TV to buy right now. I'm Tech Steve. If you have any questions, make sure you leave that in the comments below. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.